Hey, yo,
Yo.
ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to keep it a buck with you. I'm going to keep it a bean. In life, when you make purchases for certain things, you got to have insurance, homeowners insurance, car insurance, and for a very important reason. And what you're going to see when we talk about our intriguing matchups and we recap what just happened in the college football season this week is we saw that some teams have very good insurance policies when it comes to their backup quarterbacks. And some teams do not. And so, just like in football, when you don't have a good backup plan or you have no insurance, you wind up footing the bill for yourself. And if you ain't got the money to pay up, just like in life, if you don't have insurance, when that tornado blows your house down, you got to rebuild that sucker by yourself. Right? When you total your car, no insurance, you got to pay for a whole new one by yourself. And so, with that being said, you'll see the trends as we talk about our intriguing matchups for the past weekend. This is the House Divided. My name is Corey Hilliard, and the man next to me is Brandon Hill, aka B Hill, aka B. Hey, and if you've been here before, you know what to do. Come on in. This is your first time, me casa. But whether it's your first time or you've been here before, my boy's B gonna hit you with the house rules. Get them, B.
You guys already know what time it is. If you guys aren't already, if you would, go ahead and hop down there and hit that subscribe button for us. If you would, go ahead and hit that notification bell as well so you guys can be up to date on all our newest content. The best thing for us right now, if you guys would hop down in that comment box, give us your opinions, good or bad. We don't care either way. We just want to hear from you guys. And the best thing is, go ahead and hit that thumbs up if you guys are liking the content that you guys are seeing today. Man, Corey, I just want to go ahead and get this show started off, man. I want to get this game out the way. I mean, this was an all-time. I think this, as a Sooners fan, I'm 31 years old. I've been a Sooners fan probably since I was a little baby, but to where I could remember 6 years old, 7 years old, we'll call it. This was literally by far the worst performance I've ever seen by an Oklahoma Sooners football team, ever. In my time as an Oklahoma fan. So I mean, they trotted Davis Bevel out there again. I mean, they were running Wildcat stuff. It just 49-0. I mean, there's nothing more really to be said. Quinn Ewers had himself a game. I mean, Texas, they look legit. They look good. You know what I mean? They look like the team that took number one Alabama to the brink. You know what I mean? So it was that was brutal. It was
Well,
brutal. I'll be honest with you. I stopped watching the game at halftime, man. I didn't
I
even
stopped
sit through the
watching
whole
it when it
thing.
got up to about 28-0, I think, or something like that. Spencer Tillman, who does college football with Tim Brando, they do all their games together, either Pac-12 games or Big 12 games.
Yeah.
I saw he brought up, and Spencer Tillman played at OU, and he brought up a very, very good point. That's something that I didn't realize. You guys have so much turnover as far as transfers in, um,
Oh yeah.
and I'm just talking about the Texas game in a vacuum. Forget everything else that's happened before that. In a rivalry game, to not muster up any points and to give up 49, Spencer Tillman told Tim Brando that the day before the game, he said they're going to lose 50-0. He was off by 1 point. And his point was that the transfers in and most of the guys on the team are not Texas guys. And that's a very important point that I failed to realize. Usually the OU team is flooded with Texas talent, and most of those guys feel disrespected that they weren't offered or recruited heavily by the Texas Longhorns. Now, I won't say every guy, and you can't really poll every person from Texas that ever played at OU, but usually the makeup of OU is heavily Texas high school football players who have a vendetta and something to prove against the University of Texas. And I think In this game alone, not talking about the two previous games, this game alone, it showed. There was no fight after you guys got down 7 to 14 nothing. It's almost like y'all just gave up and threw in the towel. Not only that, but some of the most bizarre play calling I've seen. You guys are moving the ball efficiently, running the ball, and then the pop pass with number 9. The, why? Why? You guys would be moving the ball so good, and then stupid stuff would happen or a bad play call. And that's really coaching, man. That's really I blame your coaches for this one. I
It,
heavily blame your coaches. Another thing that Brent Venables said, I watched the post game deal with Brent Venables. He said that the guys look tired, and I think they overworked them this week. And I told you, me and you had this conversation
yeah.
off air when we talked about how the DBs were staying like an hour after practice. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
just think that you guys you're up against an avalanche now, right? And you guys are trying to figure out how to get out of it, brother. I don't know if y'all are getting out of it. I
Oh
don't know. I
man.
don't see how y'all win another game, to be honest.
I
And here's the funny part about it: you guys got Kansas this week coming into Norman. You guys are 7 point favorites. Did you know that?
Vegas knows something we don't know.
Dude, I bet you I'm putting money on Kansas to
Ah,
cover that sucker.
man.
But I don't know, man. I think it's y'all's
I mean,
time. It's y'all's time to be the doormat. You guys have never been at the bottom of the barrel. You've never been at the doormat of the conference. It's just your turn this year, man. Everybody gets a turn being the worst team in the league. And it's just so happened this year, brother. You starting your podcast with me
man.
for the very first time. It's just
Yeah.
bad luck, man.
Yeah, it was tough, man. I mean, there's not really much more I can say. You know, that's where we're at. We're 0-3 in the Big 12 right now. I mean, we got Kansas coming over. It's actually homecoming in Norman this weekend. So, you know what I'm saying? It's like, ugh, who knows? Who knows? I mean, we get Dylan Gabriel back, though. I don't think that the quarterback for Kansas is going to play. Who knows, man? You never know. It's a home game. You know what I'm saying? The last couple games have been really, really bad. We haven't been at home. So maybe getting our crowd back in there if the crowd shows up, which I anticipate that the OU fans will still show up to the games. I feel like through thick and thin, I feel like this OU organization is going to come together.
We're gonna find out a
So
lot about Sooner Nation this week.
no,
We're
they're
gonna
they're
find out
definitely
a lot.
they're gonna be there, man. But I mean, I'll tell you this. I mean, with Matt Rule getting fired today, Carolina. You think if Brent Venables just I
Stop.
don't know. I don't know, man, goes 3-8, doesn't win in the game the rest of the season. Do
You
you see
gotta
a
give the man
scenario where
more than
OU
1 year, bro. You gotta give him more than 1 year, dog. Why y'all
three and
jumping ship
eight
on him
though?
like that, bro?
3-8 though?
Look at
Three
what
and
he took
eight.
over, B.
Man, I don't feel like it's that bad. I feel like it's not great, but I don't feel like it's 3-8. Come on now.
Y'all
They
getting
should
worse
be
and worse. Y'all are getting
it,
worse and worse. The margins of the losses are
it's the
getting worse and worse.
schemes. Like you said, coaching, man, it's the schemes that he keeps putting in. He keeps wanting to run that 3-4 defense. And I just don't understand it.
So what
I
do you
don't
think,
get
Joe
it.
Castiglione, if y'all go 3-8 or whatever, 3-9 this year, he's just gonna walk in the office and hand this man a buyout and say, "Hey, we appreciate you. Leave." You think after 1 year they would do
And
that to Brent Venables?
not just 3-8, right? Not just 3-8, but a dusted, like getting dusted every game from here on. Like I could see, I got Corey, I got Baylor, they're gonna dust us. I got Oklahoma State, y'all gonna dust us. Texas Tech, they're probably gonna dust us. You know what I'm saying? Kansas this weekend on homecoming, they could possibly dust us. I mean, I'm just throwing those out there. You know what I'm saying? Kansas only lost by 7 points to TCU this last weekend.
And they played most of that game with the backup quarterback. That's why I talk
And
about insurance
we're gonna
policies.
talk about that here in just a little bit. But
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I'm throwing that out there. Oklahoma is in a very, very, very bad spot. This is the worst Oklahoma team I've seen in the last 20 years, Corey, by far.
It's pretty bad,
Easy,
B. I'm not gonna. I try
easy.
to rally the
Even
troops for
even
y'all.
even when the defense was like at all-time bad here in the last 5-6 years, they still weren't giving up 41 and 55 in back-to-back consecutive weeks, and then giving up 49 to nothing. They weren't. That wasn't happening. That
No.
just doesn't. That didn't happen. So I don't know. This is uncommon territory for me as an Oklahoma fan, to be completely honest with you. So I really don't know how to react fully. I don't enjoy it, but man, it kind of is what it is right now. We'll see. I'm not calling for Brent Venables, but all I'm saying is if you go 3-8, Corey, and you get dusted the rest of the way, if he gets blown out like this the rest of the way, I don't know. I don't know, man.
We'll see, bro. Just
That,
it's a delicate situation, man. Y'all just gotta just win a game. Just win a game. Start there. Beat Kansas.
we'll see. We'll see. That'll
said
be
than
on
done,
our
all right?
intriguing matchups. That'll be on our intriguing matchups coming up this next week. But this next game that I wanted to talk about, Corey, is the UCLA Bruins and the Utah Utes.
Mm.
Woo! I called this one. I called this
Yeah,
one.
you did.
Give
Yeah.
it to me. Give it to me.
I
told you UCLA Bruins. I told you they was gonna beat them Utah Utes.
42-32.
Dorian Thompson Robinson is a freaking beast.
DTR is what they call him. That man is a certified beast. He's put his name in the Heisman race for sure. They got some, bro. That receiver, Bobo, the transfer from Duke, he's damn near unguardable. The running back is nice. I forget his name, number 24. And then
Charbonnet.
Yeah.
Charbonnet.
Man,
Zach Charbonnet.
I like the way they play on offense. Now, I mean,
they're nice. Chip Kelly got that thing running.
Chip Kelly got that USC thing. At the end of the year.
Hey, man. Hey, USC, Oregon. I mean, there's a lot of little good games coming up in that Pac-12.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Utah's out of it. I was surprised how bad they were on defense, but you know what? It's really not their fault. They just ran up against a machine, like you said. They ran up against a Chip Kelly offense with DTR and a bunch of playmakers that America is just now finding out about. We knew nothing about this UCLA team. We're quickly finding out that this team is dangerous, bro.
You got that fifth year senior in Dorian Thompson Robinson, man. He's been there.
Yeah.
He's been there, done that. So 18 for 23, 299, 4 touchdowns, and only 1 interception. He had a 94.9 QBR. That dude ball. That dude absolutely
That's an A++.
So
you know what? UCLA is one of those teams that when they're good, college football is better for it. You know, kind of like Tennessee, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But when UCLA has a good squad, they're usually college football is better off for it. What are you about to say?
I would agree. No. I second to what you just said right there, man. UCLA with Chip Kelly and everything. That's going to be fun to see UCLA versus USC at the end of the season. That's going to be a very, very good game to tune into. Definitely one. I hope that they can both go undefeated up until that point. That'd be a good game to watch, for ratings wise. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You got Chip Kelly, the old school. You know what I'm saying? The high flying offense versus Lincoln Riley. Be interesting to see, man. So. Yep. You got anything else you want to say about this game before we move on to the next one?
No, my Pac-12 pick is done. Utah is over with. I expected more out of them, but you know, it is what it is, man. That's what makes this season especially so cool. So shout out to UCLA. They got a new fan in me. They've quickly become one of my new favorite teams to watch, for sure.
Yeah. I ain't mad at you, man. Hey, this next game on the docket, though, here, we got the Alabama Crimson Tide. Was at home against the Texas A&M Aggies. This one was a little bit close for comfort. I think the spread on this thing, 24. Was minus 24 for Alabama.
I took Alabama to cover.
Yep, and I took Alabama to win, but not to cover.
Yeah.
So there it is. I'll take that one right to the bank. So I basically just thought that Texas A&M was gonna come in there and they were gonna give them a challenge one way or another, and they really did. I mean, really, Texas A&M almost won the dang game. You
Yeah,
go
they had the
ahead.
ball on the 6-yard line, bro,
That's what
and
I'm
2
saying.
seconds left. They threw the out route, which the dude didn't even get to the damn pylon. He would have been short if he'd have caught it. Here's my thing, though. I don't know how you call that. This A&M team is probably one of the most frustrating teams to watch, as far as talent and how they perform on a weekly basis. They are so up and down. You
They,
lose to Mississippi State one week, and then you almost beat Alabama. Now, granted, Alabama had their second string quarterback in. He couldn't really throw, you know what I mean, like a Bryce Young. He's not there yet, but that dude got some legs on him. We talked about Baby Kamara Gibbs. He had a good game, but I like the running back from A&M, A-Chain. I love that dude. That dude's scrappy. I was just surprised. I really, because you just don't know what you're going to get from A&M. And the game was in Tuscaloosa. But again, I think Alabama having their second string quarterback helped A&M a lot. So,
oh, absolutely, absolutely. If Bryce Young was in this game, they probably would have covered that 24-point spread. That
yeah.
minus 14 was a lot. What I had to go into. Isn't that guy a freshman?
Who?
Is that
The
Jalen
quarterback?
Milroe? Yeah, he's a true. Yeah, he's
I
a
think
true freshman.
true
He's not even a
freshman.
red shirt freshman. He's a true freshman.
Yeah,
So he will be special though coming up. I mean, that dude does have some ability. He's very nice
bro.
in certain areas, and
When he
let
get
that
in the
guy
open
grow
field,
up.
oh my gosh.
Oh, Alabama's not going anywhere even whenever Bryce Young goes to the league. Let's just say that. But do you got anything else you wanted to add on this game? I mean,
Nah,
Alabama pulls off the win. I was hoping them suckers would lose, but they didn't.
gosh, man. I'm
So
frustrated with A&M. I don't know about
A&M just
Jimbo either, man. That job might be open at the end of the year, the way it's going for him.
he just ain't got it, man. He just ain't got it. He's not got the juice right now. So I don't know. There's not really much more I can cover on that one.
Nah, nope.
I was kind of I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm kind of just checking out the stats and looking at the box scores on these, my guy. I was kind of a little bit butthurt after that Red River game. I wasn't really interested in much college football for the rest of
It's all good, man. I only watched a
the day.
little bit of that one, but shoot, I was surprised. I mean, Alabama could be had. I'm just saying that. I told you that a lot of teams can be beat, bro, and they're definitely one of them. So
I mean, they could get Ole Miss could get them. Tennessee. I mean, it's going to be in our intriguing matchups later on this week. Whenever we talk about it, Corey, we got Tennessee and Alabama. It's
oh, that's the
at
game of the
Tennessee.
week.
It's at
That's the game
Tennessee,
of
is it not?
It's at Tennessee, Neyland Stadium. That's a top 5 college
That
venue if
that
anybody
place is
does
gonna
not
be
know.
rocking,
Bro, it's an awesome experience, bro.
man.
I,
So
yeah,
Bryce
we'll talk
Young,
about that.
I'm not thinking he's about to be back for that game, is he?
I don't know. It's iffy. It's in the air. It's in the
One of the
air, man.
one of the safeties, I can't remember his name. He got in trouble for Tennessee though. Their leading safety. He was
Oh,
like a
is he
fifth
like one
year
of their best
senior.
players? What do you do?
Yeah, he domestic felony arrest. Yep, domestic
These guys
abuse.
will not learn, man. You can't put your hands
Man,
on people. That's stupid.
this next game is going to be Tennessee and LSU. I completely had this one wrong. This was the only game this week that I picked wrong.
Yeah, this is the
It was
only
the
one I
only
think I
game.
picked right. This
Yeah,
is the only one I picked right. Yeah.
yeah. I don't know what I was thinking. Tennessee is for real. They're going to be a problem for Alabama next week. You know what I'm saying? Things
Yes.
are going to be tough.
Yeah.
So, Hendon Hooker, 17 for 27, 239, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. You know what I'm saying? He had 10 more carries for 56 yards on the ground. The Jabari Small, the running back for Tennessee, 22 carries, 127 yards, and 2 touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? Brew McCoy, the transfer that went from USC to Texas back to USC and then went to Tennessee. Remember that guy?
Mm-hmm.
7 receptions, 140 yards. He had 20 yards average. He just didn't get into the end zone. So, no, Tennessee went up in there to Death Valley, man, and they handled their absolute business like some
B, it
grown
was
men.
20-0 before I even finished my damn breakfast burrito,
Yeah,
bro.
I know. I
I
looked at
was
that and I
like,
was
what
just
the hell
like,
is this? They just came
yeah.
out and put they say, okay, we see your Death Valley and we'll raise
And
you
there
an
you
ass whooping. Oh, I can't say
go.
that. We'll raise you a
Imagine.
butt whipping, bro. That's
You'd
basically
be all
what they
right.
did. Yeah, but
Yeah.
still, man, it was just how emphatic it was.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
emphatic they
Yeah.
did
No,
it,
it
bro.
was. I didn't anticipate it. I mean, hell, I didn't anticipate it at all because I did pick LSU to win the game.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it's
Yeah.
just.
I picked
Mm,
Tennessee, but I didn't see a 27-point victory coming. And it honestly wasn't
mm,
that close, V. It
no, it
wasn't
wasn't.
it wasn't as close as the 40-13 score says,
No.
which is funny. So
Mm,
shouts out
mm.
to Hendon Hooker, bro. That offense, I'm telling you, that offense is deadly, bro. I
This is
still
gonna
don't
be.
think he's thrown a pick. 13th last year is the stat I saw.
Let me look at this.
This dude has not thrown a pick since November
No,
13th of last year.
he's got 0 interceptions.
Yeah.
Hey, man, that's all you can ask for out of your quarterback.
He's right there
Guy
with
that doesn't
Stroud
throw
for Heisman
interceptions.
right now.
Yeah, I give you that. If he pulls up in there and beats Alabama to it in his home stadium, he'll
Oh,
be
he'll be
right
number
there as a
one.
favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll be the favorite.
Yeah.
So I'll be interested to see, is there any chance of Bryce Young, or have you heard
God, I
anything
hope,
about
man.
that?
I would. I have not heard anything. They're
I want to
hopeful.
see, because I
They're
want to see
hopeful.
Alabama at their fullest. I don't want no,
Yeah.
because you know what will happen. They'll lose, and then they'll be, oh, well, they didn't have Bryce
They
Young.
didn't have their
So if they
quarterback,
would
and
have
that'll be
had
a
Bryce
reason
Young,
for the CFP committee to put them in.
I
Yeah,
don't want none
I'm
of
with you,
that. I
dog.
don't want
I'm
none.
with
I
you.
don't want none of that.
I'm with
I'm
you.
not a hater on Alabama. I'm just tired of seeing them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like, come on, can we see somebody else win a championship for once? I
That's
mean,
how
granted,
we
they
in the
didn't
Big
win
12
last.
feel about OU, man. We just got tired of seeing it every damn year.
Well,
So
hey, you guys got your wish this year. So there it is. There
But
it
here's
is,
the good
man.
thing for Bryce Young. He was dressed out in the game against A&M. He was in full pads on the sideline in that game. So for emergency capacity.
Okay.
So
Okay.
if he was well enough to be in pads in an emergency role
They
against
probably
A&M,
did. They probably did that so that they could have him ready for Tennessee, because they know they're gonna have to have him ready for Tennessee. Because Tennessee's gonna come out swinging, man. They're gonna be ready for this one. It'll be interesting. It's gonna be a great, intriguing matchups for Week 6 coming up here. It's
Yes.
gonna be very, very intriguing. Or Week 7, my mistake. So, is there anything else you want to cover on this game, Corey?
No, that was it, man. It was just a butt whip, man. LSU, they got the doors blown off. Shoot.
Man, is there anything else you want to cover in this week of college football that we didn't talk about?
2 weeks until the first CFP rankings come out, bro. So this upcoming week, and we'll talk more about this on the preview show.
Absolutely.
The next 2 weeks is all about resume building. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's all about resume building. This is the best time of the year right here. This October, November stretch. As this is when it gets real. This is where, people's buttholes starting to pucker up. You know what I mean?
You ain't
I'm
lying,
looking at
bro.
our matchup
You're not
against
lying.
TCU on the road, and I am scared to death, bro. I am scared to death, and everybody's going through that right now.
TCU's tough. They're tough.
Yeah.
They're one of those teams that could take a leap. I don't know. I didn't think, and we wouldn't have said that at the beginning of the year. So that's just what college football. That's what college football do to you sometimes, though. Them teams that you never think would go undefeated or would never be up in the conversation can sneak their way up in there, and that'd be kind of cool for the sport as well, though.
But look at it: Tennessee, UCLA, TCU, Kansas. All of these surprise teams. What's that?
Kansas State.
Yeah. Like it's good to see those names back in the fold, man, and actually making some noise and causing some corruption. Not corruption, but destruction.
It's gonna be
So,
very, very interesting, man. I think we're going into the second half of the season now. So they've played the
Yes.
first half. If I'm not mistaken, they played 12 games. If I'm not mistaken.
they play
So-
12. So,
Yeah.
like I said, we're 2 weeks away from that CFP ranking, man. I'm excited to see what happens. You Sooners fans, keep your heads up, man. It's just y'all turn to be at the bottom of the barrel this year. You'll be all right.
I'll be all right. I'll be all right. I ain't worried.
As an
about
OSU
it, man.
fan, it's not as bad as you think. You know, you don't get too you don't get too down on yourself when you lose, when you suck. You just like, oh.
I just can't take too many more of these, man. That's all I'm saying. I'll give it one little year pass because it's been like 20 years of dominance. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna give it 1 year's pass. After this, though, we better be back up there talking about Big 12 championships or SEC or whatever. So that's what I want to do. But other than that, man, if we ain't got nothing else to talk about this week, then this is the house. This was the House Divided podcast, guys. Tune in this week. We haven't discussed yet and put a date on it, but we are going to be talking some NBA coming up this week for you guys.
Yes,
So
sir.
stay tuned for that. Always hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, hop down in those comment boxes, and if you guys like the content, go ahead and hit that thumbs up for that like button because it always helps the algorithm to get our content out there to you guys. This is going to be the House Divided podcast. My guy Corey over here, just be Hill. We're signing in, and we're going to sign on out. Peace.
Peace.